Hello, so my name is Dr. Jawad Alzeer. This video, probably this is the last video with regard to entropy in the context of our body and health means, right? So today I want to finalize this concept to make it concretely solidify in our and your mind how to differentiate between entropy and potential energy. Because if you know exactly what is entropy, you know what is potential. If you know what circumstances will lead to potential energy, you will know exactly what circumstances will lead to entropy. Now, last time we talked about the free will capability and to choose wisely because we are rational, so that's why we have to think what to choose. If we don't choose wisely, we will always think randomly, and randomness in entropy. Now, I called potential energy as it is the voluntary acquired energy. Why it is voluntary acquired energy? Because something, it comes from you inside. You decide, right? You decide to eat healthy, so it comes from you inside. Now once it comes from you inside, this is like pure potential energy. Now, if you don't choose it, it will force you to do the opposite things, which is eating junk food. And because it is coming from outside, and the outside force is mainly correlated to the spontaneous process, and therefore this type of force will be like involuntary acquired energy, which has connection with entropy. And that's why when it comes from you inside, it's pure potential energy. If it comes on you from outside, it's purely painful energy, and it's mainly a combination with the so-called entropy. Now I'll just give you a quick example to understand what do I mean. Now let's suppose that you have $40. Your neighbor is poor. You decided to donate this $40 to your neighbor. You go, knock the door, your neighbor come out and say, please, I would like to give this for you. And then your neighbor look at you, said, you know, I really had no money for dinner. I was thinking what to eat, and you are coming on the right time. Thanks so much. And then you pay this $40 and you go back home. But you feel extremely happy because you decided voluntarily to give this money to your neighbor. Although from money perspective, you gave up money, you lost money or whatever, but you gain so much pure potential because the motivation was voluntary. And this is what I mean, voluntary acquired energy. Now take the same perspective but in a different way. You had your car, you park it somewhere in front of the supermarket, you want to pick up something, and then you came back and you find a fine of $40. You must pay now here $40. There is no way to escape, but it was not in your intention. It is not voluntary. You must, it is involuntary. So you pay the $40, but you pay it with pain. And this is the difference, right? The same amount of money, but the first one you gain because you decide voluntary to make this action. It comes from you, voluntary, the right direction. You gain purely potential energy. The second one, you must do it. You must pay the same amount, which is 40, but it's so painful because it is involuntary. It is forced on you. And this is how we can differentiate between the force, which has connection to voluntary. So activate your free will correctly. If you don't, then involuntary will dominate, which has connection with entropy. And entropy, disorder, disease, loss, confusion, anxiety, depression, uh, whatever has connection to bad things, name it, it comes under the list of um, disorder and entropy. So I think now I almost summarized everything which has connection to entropy, and I tried to correlate those questions in terms of reactions in our body, which make it so easy to understand the concept of entropy if we link it so strongly with the concept of potential energy, and I will stop giving these types of videos. I probably would like to give 1 or 2 videos to implement the concept of entropy and potential energy in the context of chemical reaction, and I may do this on the long run, but I really would like to hear your feedback and to see if there is something which need to be more explained in detail, and I would like to learn from you how we can improve this concept for good well. Um, Thanks a lot, and wish you full success in your studies and in your career.